I think we can all relate with that feeling when life feels a bit stagnant, or you've just gotten your heart broken, or you just feel a bit lost. It's especially in those moments when we tend to consume ourselves with negativity or just spiral down negative thoughts, and it's really hard to decide to pick yourself up again and press the reset button. I've been there too, and after spending some time in that headspace, I realized I needed to develop some techniques that would help me find comfort, especially in those moments when I needed it the most. I look at it as a vacation for the brain, actually. So here it goes. I like to think of it this way, like whenever life throws something at me and I find myself in a weird, difficult, uneasy situation or whatever, I open my toolbox and I'm like, oh, there's so many tools in there. There's so many tools in there, and I can just choose which one will just ease the situation in this very moment. And it helps to make life a bit easier sometimes. Yeah, it does. That's what I think. Okay. The first thing you can try to do is to immerse yourself fully in an activity where you can see tangible progress. This is essentially about demonstrating to yourself that time is moving, change can happen, and we can progress. It really helps to counteract this feeling of stagnancy by doing something where every single day you will feel like, wow, I'm progressing at something. So this activity can be anything. It can be physical activity, sports, creative things like learning a new instrument or baking or cooking or writing. Let it be like an outlet, and let it be like a safe space for yourself where you can just practice and enjoy the process, allow the time to sort of heal. And yeah, I think that's about it. Good day, people. Hello, everybody. I would say for me, like the activity that I've been immersing myself into last couple of months has been physical activity, physical movement. Lately, I feel more inspiration and more interest to alternate between different activities to kind of introduce new things into my regime. And yeah, so like right now, I'm ready to go for a swim. I wore my clothes. I'm ready to head out. Slathered on sunscreen because it's kind of sunny and I don't want to get wrinkles, you know? Anyways, I've been feeling this inspiration to sort of use physical activity as a mental getaway. Oh, I think there's sunscreen on my shirt. Sorry. So it's swimming or running, but I would say running is not so, I don't know about running, you know? I'm trying, but it's hard. And then yeah, sometimes yoga, sometimes Pilates, sometimes TRX, sometimes whatever, like some strength workout. Yeah, but I think it's been a remedy for me. It's like a guarantee that you're gonna feel much better after you're done with your workout. And it helps me as a mental and physical getaway to get away from all the things that are kind of weighing me down in that moment. But anyways, let's go for a swim now. Let's rock and roll. Good morning. So I decided to go for a run. I'm definitely bored. I'm not bored. I promised to myself I will go for a run. I will start running. So I have to go. So I will go. Hi guys. So I just finished Pilates class. I signed up for Pilates and yoga, like I like to do both. So I feel like it's really giving me a lot of positive energy to alternate between different things when it comes to physical movement. And I would like to get more into it and do it more regularly and continuously. But yeah, I think that Pilates class is definitely very fun, and I couldn't film because obviously it's a bit awkward, but yeah. Find what feels good and do more of that, because our brain tends to fixate on the negative, tends to make us compare ourselves to one another and really focus our energy on the things that we're lacking. And I will say enough of that. My sister used to always tell me, you have so many great things going about yourself, but you choose to focus your attention on the things that are not working out, the things that make you sad, and the things that you cannot control. Try to look at the things that you already have at your disposal that are working just fine. And she was really right about that. Identify the things that bring you joy, that make you feel good, and try to expand. So keyword here is expansion and maximizing these activities as much as possible, carving out more time in your schedule to make that possible, or making little shifts in your daily life to be able to do more of these things. Or it's all about choosing wisely in a moment where you're like, what should I do right now? And you have your phone lying on the bed and you're like, I could scroll on Instagram, or I could maybe read this book that I really wanted to read for a while. No matter how wrong or bad you feel like certain aspects in your life are right now, there's always going to be one thing that works just fine, that works just the way it should. So try to focus your attention on that thing or things. Super small example of that for myself is that I extended my morning routine by waking up a bit earlier. I realized that it gives me life and it gives me a lot of joy to be able to do certain things before I go to work. For example, I like to write, I like to have time to eat my breakfast, I like getting ready with music, enjoying myself, putting on makeup, nice clothes. Like, that's just a tiny shift I did in my schedule, but it was worth it because now I'm just in an overall better mood whenever I wake up. I remember being stuck in my hometown and hating it and finding it so boring and really not seeing the fun in any of what people were doing there. And my dad was always like telling me, hey, just for one moment, try to forget about your own opinion about your hometown and try to find out what people love about this place and what makes them stay here. And I remember being so blown away by this idea because I was like, actually, you're right, because something that I hate could potentially and most possibly be something that someone loves. This is like a reminder that beauty is everywhere, even in the things that we don't see them at first glance. But when you look at them twice or thrice, maybe you'll find that there is beauty there after all. This is a tool that I mostly use for tackling things that I find a bit mundane or boring in my daily life, but I cannot really wish them away. I have to do them, you know, the chores that everybody has. But instead of suffering your way through them, try to ask yourself, what would this look like if it was fun? You will give yourself the answer basically. Maybe you will say, this task would be way more fun if I was doing it with my friends, or this task would be way more fun if I was listening to music while doing it. This is a tool that I go back to a lot of the times when I tend to forget about the fun in anything that I do, and I just do it as a routine, like a little robot who's doing whatever I have to do. And then I'm like, okay, no, you know, some things can also be a little bit more fun if I allow myself to see them in that way and transform them in that way. Yeah, does that make sense somehow? Yeah, it does. Whenever I feel lost, heartbroken, or consumed by negative thoughts in my life, I return to the one thing that has always brought me solace: cultivating my own garden. For me, building my garden means letting go of things that make me feel less alive, and also the negative spirals of what ifs. Allowing my world to flourish by refusing to pile misery upon misery and instead choosing self-compassion when I most need it. You have probably heard this very cliche phrase many times: when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I find it to be really true because you can choose to make the freshest and coolest kind of lemonade, and it doesn't mean that it's the only thing you'll end up having in the end. Gratitude usually reciprocates. Shifting your mindset, focusing on what feels good, can help us take small steps into a new chapter. I would say have faith and trust, and know that a breakdown can also be the beginning of a breakthrough. I've recently heard that phrase and I was wowed. So anyways, I'm greeting you with a big hug, and I'll see you in the next one, my friends. Bye. Hello, face tracker. I'm talking too much. Is this good? I'm not sure about that. I'm struggling. Go back, go back. I'm not ready yet. Oh my gosh. Can I do this again? I have continuous thing going on. I don't know if I can have my signature on that statement. I'm out.